Let's talk about the Democrats. As we know, Bernie Sanders won West Virginia yesterday. He's expected to do well in several upcoming primaries. The question is, how will that hurt Hillary Clinton if she's trying to pivot to the general election, if she has to keep responding to Senator Sanders?
Well, that's about the only good thing that's happening for Donald Trump right now is that there's this kind of mix-up on the Democratic side. There's still competition for Hillary Clinton. She's not been able to put away Bernie Sanders. So while Trump is fighting his own internal party divisions, so is Hillary Clinton, and that's important because there's not really at this point a clear choice. And as long as there is kind of bifurcated parties, then both sides are still fighting very similar battles, and the general election hasn't been joined quite yet.
You know, Jamelle, I found a West Virginia exit poll pretty interesting last night. It shows that Sanders supporters, of them, 44% said they'd actually vote for Donald Trump instead of supporting Hillary Clinton. So how concerned does the Clinton camp need to be about numbers like that?
I don't think the Clinton campaign needs to be very concerned about numbers like that at all, in part because I think it's very idiosyncratic to West Virginia, which is a state, unlike I think most other states in the country, where party registration has still really lagged behind how people vote. And so for the past few cycles, West Virginians have largely voted for Republicans. There are some Democrats statewide in West Virginia, but more or less, this is a conservative state with Republican delegations and Republican lawmakers. But there's still that kind of hereditary party registration in West Virginia that you saw throughout the South up until 1994 and 2010, right, where you had lots of people who were Democrats really just because they've always been Democrats, but who are voting for Republicans consistently. So I don't think results like that in West Virginia say anything about kind of the challenge to unite the party or anything. And I'll say I'm not so sure it particularly matters that the Democratic primary is still going on at this stage. Remember, in 2008, the Democratic primary lasted into the summer, and there was no real trouble when it came to unifying or kind of advancing in the fall.
That's a good point.
What matters, I think, for the parties are their relative unity, and there's every sign that Democrats should be happy with whoever's nominee, and just national conditions. National conditions right now aren't, I wouldn't say, they're not necessarily favorable to Democrats, but they're not unfavorable either.
And it's interesting also, President Obama lost a lot of those final states in the final primaries and still made it through. Okay, Jamelle Bouie and Jake Sherman, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.